Welcome into the Steelers Talk Mailbag. I'm your host, Jack Sperry, and this week, obviously, you take a tough loss to the Cleveland Browns, and I think that the emotions are going to run hot with the questions here, and I think there's going to be a lot of frustration, and, deservingly so. There were some frustrating things about this game this week that the Steelers need to clean up if they want to become legit title contenders this year. So without further ado, let's get into the questions here, but first, make sure you click that subscribe button to join the most interactive Steelers community here on YouTube. We go live 3 times a week. We give you guys shout-outs. We put you up on the mailbags. We give you guys an opportunity to hang out and interact with your fellow Steelers fans across the globe. So if you guys want to join the largest Steelers news community here on YouTube, we're just about to hit 70,000 subscribers. That's absolutely fantastic, guys. Click that subscribe button and join our family today. With that, I'll pause and open it up for questions, starting with my man Colton. Says, if the Steelers drop to the Bengals, you think we are done? I don't think we're done. All right, and it also depends in the way that they lose, right? If they lose a close game and it's like a shootout and Joe Burrow is just like unbelievable, that's different. But obviously you worry about the defense a little bit. It depends on the fashion in which you lose. But what I'll say here, Colton, is I like the Steelers' chances because Mike Tomlin's 13-6 in his career after playing on Thursday Night Football. So when you give him ample time to prepare, he usually does a good job getting his teams ready to go. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then the Steelers' offense ripped that Bengals defense to shreds last year in Matt Canada's offense with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph. Okay, and it was obviously Faulkner calling the plays last year. No, Faulkner was the OC after Canada got fired, but it was still Canada's playbook. And Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett absolutely killed that Bengals defense. I think Russell Wilson and the Steelers offense with Mike Williams playing a bigger part next week. I think that this Steelers offense is going to go off, all right? I think that they are going to silence a lot of the doubters out there. And I think that it's going to be a real fun game to watch and a big-time shootout. Hopefully the Steelers can come out on top. Got one from Hip Hop Anonymous, one of my favorite names here in the Steelers Talk community. Says, I think Najee needs to ride the dang bench. The man sucks. I don't think he sucks. I think that's a little bit of an overstatement, and I think he is better than Cordero Patterson because Cordero, since he's come back from his injury, has not been dynamic whatsoever. Okay, like Najee definitely has quicker feet than Cordero at this point. I think he's got better. Power than him as well at this point in his career, despite being a bit slimmer. And obviously the Thunder and Lightning with Najee and Jaylen is pretty darn good. So I think Najee, he's not a true number one in my opinion. I don't think he's a star running back, but he certainly plays his role in this Steelers offense. And I think he plays an important role in this Steelers offense for sure. So who should play more? Who should be the number one running back in terms of who gets the most snaps on game days this year? Type NH if you want Najee Harris, or type JW if you want Jaylen Warren. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And when that happens, take advantage of that time. But let me know who should be RB1 here in Pittsburgh. Got one from my man Offsides Edits. Says, do you expect to see more of Justin Fields' package after his performance against the Browns? So I actually think that, because of the weather and it was hard to see the football and it was hard to pass the ball because of that, at times, I thought it was a real smart move to go to Justin Fields at the time that they did. And he provided the spark to get this team going and, really spark that comeback in the fourth quarter. So shout out to Justin Fields. But I think that when it's clear conditions outside, you're going to see less of Fields. Now, if it's another snow game, if there's going to be a really wet and rainy game, I think we'll still see Fields, and I'm still going to advocate to put Fields in there on the low red zone, 5-yard line and in. I'm also going to advocate for him on 3rd and 4th and short for tush pushes. And I'm also going to advocate for him in 4-minute drill. Don't throw a deep shot to George Pickens in those moments on 3rd and 4 with the game on the line. But, you can put him in there to be another rushing threat if the defense knows you have to run the football. So I think Fields and the Fields package is valuable for this Steelers team. I do think we see more of it, but I think, honestly, we might have seen the largest percentage of snaps in the Fields package that we'll see all season on Thursday night. So we got one from Vincent here. It says, other than Aaron Rodgers and Daniel Jones, free agency quarterback options that the Steelers could sign. Sam Darnold, Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston, Gardner Minshew. It's a very barren free agency quarterback class. Now, there could be some quarterbacks that get traded. Kirk Cousins could potentially be a trade option. Matthew Stafford could potentially be a trade option. Who knows? Maybe even Derek Carr could be a trade option next offseason. Dak Prescott, I don't think Dak, but there's going to be some options out there. But honestly, out of all the guys that are going to be free agents next year, Russell Wilson would be my number one choice. He has chemistry with these guys. He's a fantastic leader for this locker room. He's clutch in the fourth quarter. He's probably a top 20 quarterback, not a top 10 quarterback anymore. But he fits what this Steelers team wants to do. And out of those free agency options, I'd probably rather take Russ over all of the rest of those. So before we get to the rest of today's questions here, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Mando Whole Body Deodorant. Let me ask you guys kind of a weird question here. How do you guys deodorize your balls in the morning in the shower? Most people just use soap or even put some cologne down there. I mean, that's just absolutely gross if you ask me. But after a few hours, the smell starts to fade and a less desirable smell starts to come up during the day. Lucky for you, our friends at Mando Whole Body Deodorant have come up with the perfect solution with their brand new spray deodorant. It won't irritate your sensitive bits because the first ingredient is water, not alcohol. And it's proven to control odor for 72 hours. It also has a 360-degree spray, and it works upside down as well, so it's perfect for getting this stuff anywhere on your body from any angle. Take advantage of Mando's special offer just for Steelers Talk listeners, which gives new customers $5 off their best-selling starter pack with code CHAT at shopmando.com. And guys, in that starter pack, you guys can get this mini body wash in the bourbon leather scent. They got multiple different scents that are cologne quality. I love the bourbon leather one, though, just because I really like kind of the masculine scent of it. And I have a full bottle of this, by the way, at home. After I tried Mando products, I've never gone back to a different body wash. I love it that much. And you guys can get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant right now by using Mando's starter pack, which is perfect for new customers because it comes with a solid stick of deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice. You can get the mini body wash, like I pointed out, or they also have excellent deodorant wipes too, if that's more your thing. And then also you get free shipping, so there's literally no reason not to try this out, guys. Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market today. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. It's time to smell better naked with Mando Whole Body Deodorant today. My man Jim Cease in the chat here says, bottom line, offensive line needs to get better. Mike Williams needs to get more reps. And I like that I like that you're bringing this up with Mike Williams, Jim, because I do think he's going to get more reps. All right, on the short week, I even said it this week on the show. Don't expect Mike Williams to play more snaps because it's a short week. Their focus was on getting ready for the Cleveland Browns game, not necessarily getting Mike Williams up to speed with the playbook. But now, with the mini bye week, there's going to be people taking a little bit of a break, all this stuff. Mike Williams can really spend the weekend here really working with Arthur Smith to get the terminology down, to really memorize everything in this playbook. And, it is kind of a complex playbook. Art likes to call 2 concepts in the huddle and a check concept as well. So, you have to really know a lot to really be a functioning member and a full-time starter in this offense. And I think that Mike, with this mini bye, should be able to get there, or at least close to full all the way there here before the Bengals game. And I think come Cincinnati week here, I think we're going to see Mike Williams pretty much take Van Jefferson's full-time starting spot here in the Steelers offense, or at least I hope he does. Then we get to Christian Andujar, says, I think the NFL should start hiring young heads as refs, not these old heads, because these old heads, God, say old head again there, Christian, says can't see jack squat. Hey, man, that's a little offensive to the Jacks of the world there. It says they need to be in the retirement home, not officiating games. They have some younger guys coming in here, Christian, and, I don't know, man. I don't think that the refs cost the Steelers the game yesterday. I really don't. Personally, I think the Steelers lost the game, not the refs. That's just my personal opinion. I know there's some people that are complaining about the lack of an intentional grounding call, but there was some question as to whether or not Jameis was under duress, which means it wouldn't be illegal intentional grounding. There's obviously the non-safety call, and then there was a couple of DPIs that weren't called that some people are are complaining about. But let's face it, man, I think the Steelers beat the Steelers yesterday, and that's unfortunate, but I think that's the truth. So make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. Really do appreciate all the support you guys give to the channel. Liking this video is a free and easy way to help us out because it tells the YouTube algorithm that you're enjoying our content and that they should push it to other Steelers fans like yourselves. So if you want to get more Steelers family members into our little community here and want to expand our umbrella a little bit, make sure you click that thumbs up icon to help out today's video. Mario Neves here says, I'm sick of the play calling and run, pass. We ran on almost every first down. I'm actually pretty interested to see the splits on that. Yeah, I mean, I didn't really take note as to how many times they went run, pass, or running on first downs. I might actually go over the film here again this weekend and see just how much Art was doing that. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Arthur Smith's play calling. And honestly, I thought Russell Wilson kind of elevated kind of a poor game plan from Arthur Smith. I know it was on a short week for Art, but man, I thought it was a really bad game plan. I thought he called some really wacky stuff and some really big moments, like the fade on the 2-point conversion to Cordero Patterson of all people. Like, what the hell are we doing, man? So I completely agree with you, Mario. The play calling needs to be better. In terms of the specifics you're talking about, I'll have to look into that a little bit more. Mike Z says the Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl. Mike, I love your energy, my man. And by the way, I still think it's possible. All right, would I list them as the favorites in the AFC right now? No, but before this game, I didn't. I still had the Bills and the Chiefs ranked above the Steelers on my personal power rankings heading into the week. And you know what? I'm probably not going to move the Steelers off my power rankings next week. I still feel good about where this team sits. I think that the Bills and Chiefs are probably the favorites in the AFC, but the Steelers are absolutely in the mix, all right? They can beat the Bills. They can beat the Chiefs on any given Sunday, and I absolutely think the Steelers are capable of not only going to the Super Bowl, but winning it if they can get hot at the end of the season. Greg Dayton here says you better score about 28-30 to beat the Bengals. And the last two games against the Bengals, the Steelers have gotten over 30. And that was with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph, all right? And Russell Wilson is a lot better than those two guys, in my opinion, all right? So I actually think that the Steelers' offense is going to have a bounce-back game. They got ample time to prepare and really get a good game plan together. Arthur Smith has no excuses heading into this game. And, you know, Joe Burrow is playing, honestly, MVP caliber football this year. It's kind of a travesty. You know, the Bengals have lost so many games. I mean, it's great as Steelers fans to see the Bengals lose as many close games as they have. But the thing about the Bengals, guys, is that they don't win close games. The Steelers have won most of their close games this year, guys. So if it's close, I think it will be at the end. I trust Russell Wilson and the Steelers, even on the road, to collect the victory. Going from LovePugs05 says, from what I've seen from the replays, Watt was held by Browns players. Honestly, I thought the most egregious non-holding calls were on Cam Hayward. Cam actually talked about it in his post-game press conference yesterday. He was getting held time and time again, and the refs just let him play in the elements. Honestly, it was probably hard for the refs to see anything with the snow, so maybe they get a little bit of a pass for that. But, you know, I'm not going to use the refs as an excuse. I think the Steelers lost because the Steelers didn't play well enough to win the football game on Thursday. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you to everybody that submitted questions this week. We'll be back on Monday with another edition of Steelers Talk Live. And we'll have another full slate of videos for you guys, getting you ready for Bengals week here in week 13. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. And until next time, here we go, Steelers.